Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Aquarius for June 2020. If you're new to my channel, I'll just give you a quick rundown of the layout. It is for career and finance, but I do general energies as well. My layout is as follows. The Rider-Waite deck pretty much in the center here, and that one actually relates to more of the career and finance. Everything that's on the periphery is more related to general energies. So I do have some cards that are off to the side. They're not extremely visible here, but I'll pull them forward as I go along. So these are my advice cards that I have, and this would be Justice. I also have Three of Gabriel, and I also have Queen of Gabriel. These are all cards, as I say, that are pulled off to the side here, but they are relevant to the reading in terms of advice. I also have a timeout card here, which is a new deck that I'm introducing into my readings as well. And I've got another deck that thought I'd throw in here as well, which just for a little bit of variety. So I'll just quickly give you a rundown of the cards that I'm using. So I am using, as I mentioned, the timeout card, which is actually from a deck. It's a little different for me. Might be a little oversimplified, but I'm just throwing it in there just because it's a quick read, but it's the Oracle guidebook cards. It's Pam Grout and Colette Baron-Reid. For sure, Colette Baron-Reid has some great cards as well. This is just like a really simplified version of tarot, I would say, this deck. And then I also am using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, and I'm also using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, which is Colette Baron-Reid, and the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards are Doreen Virtue. And I also am using the Witch's Tarot, which I'll just pull forward a couple of the cards. This would be the Witch's Tarot here, and those are actually by Dugan. And I'm also using the numerology guidance cards, which may not be overly visible, but I'll again pull those forward. That would be, one of them is the spiritual partnership card here. And then there's another one off to the far right that I'm using, which is the environment card. And then I'm using the Crow Tarot deck, which is the cards toward the back here. And those ones are by MJ, I'm not going to pronounce this properly, I'm sure, Cullinane. I'm also using the Book of Rune cards, which are the center cards here, and that is actually by Ralph Blum. And I'm also using the Archangel Power Tarot deck, which I mentioned, I brought them forward here earlier as advice cards. That's actually the Doreen Virtue and Riley Valentine. And I'm using the Fortune reading cards as well, which are at the very back here. That's by Sharina Starr. And final cards are the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by Colette Baron-Reid as well. So those ones are a little more off to the side. So again, these were some of the ones that I'd mentioned there that earlier by Colette Baron-Reid. And again, those are just general energy reading cards. But the rest that is the Rider-Waite deck are all in the center, and I'll be reading those toward the end. So I'll just quickly mention, I had a little bit of confusion with this reading because it felt like the energy was a little all over the place, although it does feel like this is primarily a career reading for you, Aquarius. I just felt that you are going through some kind of a battle of some sort that is related to the justice system. So either it's legal documents or papers or something that needs to be formally dealt with, or something that, that was related to a partnership that is dissolving and needs to be resolved in a legal format. You're dealing with lawyers, or something that division of property, or some kind of clearing up of paperwork that resulted from some kind of partnership. I want to say that somebody was trying to get away with something, or underhandedness or something along that line. But I mean, it's a little hard to say at this point. Just some of the cards sort of veered toward that. But either way, I just felt that there were some lawyers involved. There's definitely some kind of paperwork that's involved with things along that line, some kind of legality anyway, and something to do with a partnership. I did feel that you were also going through some changes on the career front as well. I do feel that there's some reason for you to be optimistic. You have a lot of cards here as well that draw toward that. But again, I feel like you're in the midst of some kind of battle and clearing things up in the month of June. Whether it's, run on from some previous months or this is the start of it, either way, it's present in the month of June. Some kind of issue around dealing with that, and it's fairly significant because it does seem to be coming through in multiple decks that I've pulled here. You have a lot of repeat cards. You have like even with the Death card. I mean, that's a repeat here between the Witch's Tarot Companion as well as the Rider-Waite deck. You also have the five and seven. Five of Wands, which I knew there was another card in here that was duplicated. Oh, actually, the Seven of Wands. And you also have 2 sevens in the reading, so lots of battles going on that front. So I just feel that, and also again, you've got the Seven of Wands with the Witch's Tarot as well. But anyway, I'll get into the reading, but I just felt that there was a lot of changes on that front for you to deal with. But again, reason to be optimistic. There's definitely some positive signs here that things are moving in your favor. Okay, so I'll start out with my new deck, actually. Well, it's not really new. I've had it for a while. I just don't always pull things forward till I fall into the mood of it. But anyway, this is actually the Crow Tarot, and this is again by M.J. Collinane. So this is the deck of crows, and so again, this is Temperance. Temperance again has a bit of a different meaning. Sorry, I know the light's shining on that. I'll see if I can just adjust that. Temperance has a bit of a varied meaning here, depending on the deck that you refer to. So, I mean, I know with the Rider-Waite deck, it's about patience and it can be about healing and all of those things too. And with the Crow Tarot, I mean, there is some overlap there also. But so I'll start with, actually, you know what? Before I actually start with that one, I'm going to start with the Fortune deck. Sorry to bounce around a bit here, but I just find I have more flow when I do that. So I'll start with the Fortune reading cards, and that's the Angel and the Snake card. So I'll try to pull that one forward here. Everything's at a little bit of a distance from me, so I have to juggle a bit here. Okay, so the Angel card says your angels are guiding you and protecting you on your spiritual journey. And I did feel there was quite a few cards that spoke to that in this reading. So, I mean, clearly you're going through something that, you need a little bit of guidance, you need some protection from, just to make sure things stay on the right track. So you are getting protection from angels here. Certainly whenever you have availability of spirit coming through, it's a good idea to also ask for specific information or specific help. So it is that time, that period where you need to pay attention to dreams or, synchronicities or anything that's coming through from the divine that might line things up for you, have relevance, provide some meaning, insight. Sometimes it's spiritual numbers that are coming through, a lot of repeats, 222 or 777 or 111, whatever it is. But whatever it is for you. And again, some people receive information through their dreams more readily than they do in some other symbols. So it's also about following your instincts. So whenever you get that gut feeling, just to pay attention to it, because you might need to say something at the right time, especially if there's legal proceedings going on, or if there is legal paperwork that needs to be addressed, it might be requiring you to pay extra attention to details, and you might require another angle or perspective to bring about a more favorable resolve. So either way, it's letting you know that you have a blessed connection here with the angels, and just again to pay attention to your dreams, gut feelings, anything like that, symbols, synchronicities, numbers. So it also it can also indicate that, I'm just going to put that card back here. It can also be, you know, a card letting you know that you're being guided in terms of your career, that you're getting that help with money and career goals, and it's helping to clarify a direction for you. So I do feel that there is some indication of a little bit of confusion here for you on that front as well, especially because if you're, winding something up in terms of a business or changing careers, something along that line, it definitely speaks to that with a few of the other cards here in some of the different decks here with the Witch's Tarot and so on. I noticed that career change. But again, it's helping you, the Spirit is helping you with money here. It's helping you with your career goals, helping you to stay on that sort of that track of finding your North Star, or something that has some meaning for you, where there is a creative spark, where there is something artistic that needs to be brought out, a talent that needs to be awakened, something along that line. So you're getting a little bit of guidance on that front. So it's not just about protection here, it's also about helping to bring information to you that you need to find something that has a spark. And I believe you did get a card. Yeah, you did get a card that indicated that you needed to get a spark going here. So there's some kind of latent talent maybe that you haven't brought to the forefront that needs to be addressed. So you also have the snake energy. So your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. So this card also speaks to thoughts and emotions and depth of feelings running strong. So there could be a lot of back and forth emotion with intensity. Maybe you're spending a little bit too much time alone in this negative energy, where you're swinging back and forth between maybe self-pity and anger, and kind of bouncing around between some of those emotions. But just to let you know that your intuition is stronger than usual, and you again are getting guidance, and you're also into this, you're being guided into a new, luckier, fruitful path. So just to be patient. And again, with the Temperance card coming through with the Crow's deck, you did have Temperance with that, indicating that there needs to be some patience, because this is a new path for you. And, clearly you are suffering some kind of loss, or maybe you have a sense that you failed in some way. But you have to be careful, because I feel that there's also a lot of jealousy going on around you for the month of June. I mean, it may be, again, overlapping from some of the other months, but fairly pronounced in June. So just to be really careful about what you reveal in your personal and business dealings. But again, I do feel that you're taking more time to spend alone in the month of June. I don't know that you're being all that social with family and friends and connections and that kind of thing. I feel that it's a good time for you to think about planning your next move. I feel that, in terms of relationships, I do feel that you can trust relationships, to be honest in the month of June if you're starting any kind of new connection on that front. And certainly in terms of health, you might want to be a little extra careful about how you deal with diet and exercise. Don't overdo things, that kind of thing. Make sure that you get outside. A little bit of fresh air can go a long way. Walks, whatever it is, just to kind of give yourself a sense of peace. But it's also, again, it's a card that's letting you know that you have some potential here that's a little untapped. Just to stay positive and again, it is a card that speaks to advancement financially and professionally, but at this time for the month of June, just to be a little more frugal with your money and your not lending money out, that kind of thing. Just for whatever reason, it's just a time of being a little more frugal. You might have a new money making idea that's coming your way, because there's definitely some good luck with a project or a career change that is quite possibly going to put you in some kind of limelight or center stage, something along that line where you're getting a lot more attention than you might otherwise have had before. Sorry, just trying to straighten up those cards there. But I just feel that you have some jealousy going on. So just to be mindful and guard yourself a little bit, not to reveal your hand for the month of June. Because again, I feel there's some kind of legalities coming through here. So again, moving on to the new deck, which is the Crow Tarot, MJ Cullinane. I guess that's hopefully the correct pronunciation. But with the Temperance card here, again, different meanings for different decks, but there is often some overlap there. This card is one of moderation with Temperance. So it is a card of angel communication, so spirit and divine coming through. Maybe pull that forward so you can see the card. So with the Temperance deck, as I said, this is really about being patient and balanced, and it's a time of being calm on the outside while you're actively trying to resolve your problems or whatever issues you're trying to figure out some kind of a solution here. So it's a card of a long-term, taking a long-term view of your situation and then seeking out that solution. So within this period of June, I feel that you're trying to blend your relationships and trying to create some harmony around you with people that you know. I don't know that I feel you're super social or anything like that. I just feel that you're trying to work on maybe getting advice from others. You're trying to maybe incorporate some of their ideas. But I just feel like there's something totally new that's going to come out of all of this with the Temperance card. So again, just to be mindful, I feel that you're in a little bit of it's a card of fire, but cups is, the element is fire, but the cups, of course, is more about the emotional state that you're going through. And because the Crow deck is showing me 3 different cups, I feel that there's a lot of emotional intensity going on for you. So with the 10 of Cups, the next deck here, or next part of the reading, the 10 of Cups, in again the Crow Tarot, this one actually speaks to you trying to find that peace and contentment here. So it's about you achieving your dreams or moving toward your dreams in a way that, you're trying to find that way through. You're trying to find that joyful, harmonious, peaceful way of going forward. I feel that you must have been off balance here or you will be for the month of June. That's why you're striving so hard for that peace and that harmony. And of course, there's other cards coming through with the 2s. Anything that's 2s and 6s and 4s and that kind of thing is really about you trying to find balance. So I do feel that there could even be some kind of a romantic relationship that's forming here. It could be a lifelong love affair. And you could be just enjoying that for, and it's bringing you some good luck. Either way, this 10 of Cups that's entering your home. So you're getting some kind of good vibe that's coming through on some front here, despite your other issues on the career front here. But again, I still feel you're working on some kind of some kind of change there on the career front. We are also looking at the Six of Cups over here. A little hard for me to reach that one right now. So Six of Cups is letting you know that you're returning to that place of your youth, or a stable time. You're, where you felt it was a heartfelt time, where you felt stable, and there were things were less complicated in youth, or better times overall. So you're reflecting here in the month of June, where you felt less burdened, overburdened. It's with the Six of Cups is bringing that message to take a break and just to remember, that this is a moment when you enjoyed your life. So for all the hardships that you might be enduring, there was also some really good times, even prior to that, because that's the cycle of life. You're supposed to be learning. It's like you're gaming. You're playing a game here, really. I mean, life is serious, but it's also a bit of a game. You have to learn to leverage up and take on the new challenges, introduce new tools to, work on whatever is in front of you. Don't try to rely on old standbys to deal with new issues, because your old tools aren't necessarily going to be as effective or effective, period, in leveling up. And you might be destined to repeat a pattern otherwise. So again, skill-based matters. It's important to learn new techniques, to change and shift perspective to be able to overcome hurdles. So with, again, the Six of Cups, you're taking a break, which again, other cards spoke to that as well with the timeout. You're taking a break, you're trying to collect your thoughts, you're trying to feel a little more at peace and recharge your spirit, basically. So whether that means it's taking the form of a vacation or a trip back to your hometown, or whatever it is that the Six of Cups means to you to help bring you into that place of reflection and more control, in your past, to help you feel more control in the present. The Knight of Wands is the last card here, which the Knight of Wands is, I feel, representing a person with this energy here. So the Knight of Wands is a card that's letting you know you're still, it's either you're moving forward with determination, and you're trying to pull out some raw power out of yourself and go forward, confidently, and try to get back to a successful mindset, even if you are experiencing some uncertainty. But it's reflective. It's a person who's jumping in, weighing all the consequences, trying to get the passion, the enthusiasm back. This could very well actually be you, because nights are generally about messages coming through also. But it is about needing that passion. It's essential to have that passion, that spark, which again, you have other cards that speak to. You maybe have lost that sense of enthusiasm or passion for something, and you're trying to bring it forward again. But I do feel it's about finding that balance and clear thinking for a project or a situation. You're trying to get back to finding success with the Knight of Wands here. So it's also about important information that you might just need to take a second look at here as well. But outside of that, as I say, that is the Crow Tarot deck. We'll move on down into the... I think I will move that down into the numerology deck. So that's into the spirituality and partnership. So spiritual partnership is, again, about you connecting with the divine. So that symbol on there is really the Merkaba, which also represents energy, a divine energy. And if you look it up, there's some real interesting pieces to that help to clarify how you can unlock some of that dormant energy. Sometimes our Merkaba locks up and doesn't allow us to move into deeper insights which could be further available to us. So, but it is about shifting perspective and so on. But anyway, with this spiritual partnership card, it does talk of a friendship that could also be very significant. Somebody who's a like-minded soul that's coming into your sphere here. Somebody who's on that possibly similar journey toward enlightenment that you are, or moving in the same vein of your interests and your career path or your creative interests. It does also speak to kind of a master-disciple relationship is how the card defines it. So there's another card I remember reviewing in your reading here that also spoke to that old adage, when the student, I'm going to screw this up I think, but when the student is willing, the teacher appears. And I feel that there is some sense of that that's coming through. So again, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So whether this is a form of a business partnership or just somebody that you feel that you can gain some insight from or learn from, that's helping propel you forward, that's helping you to reignite that spark. But this person is going to be coming into your sphere here. It's going to be coming in to help you to expand, not just your spiritual growth, but expand you as a person on a deeper level, on the career front as well. But I feel that something about that connection is either way, it's enhancing you. You're getting wisdom from this person, which is helping you to further connect to source or the divine, and you're broadening your understanding, which is definitely a catalyst in helping you to move forward on your path. So just again, to pay attention to, it doesn't have to be someone who directly comes into your life on a friendship level. As I say, I mean, it could be people that you come across on, even on a YouTube channel, a speaker or somebody who really that you connect with, that seems to provide the right momentum to get you started. So again, it could be a speaker, a teacher, an author, book that you're reading, someone that you are able to embrace growth from. So it's that opportunity to enhance and broaden and expand through some insight coming through from another like-minded spirit or soul that has something along the same line of interest as you. And again, the environment card, which is also of the numerology guidance cards, the environment card speaks to the same. It's about a time to focus on your environment and be aware of the things that are going on behind the scenes here. So, just being aware of the people that are around you, making sure to dig a little deeper, go beyond the surface, because especially if you're in the midst of some kind of a battle on a career front, you want to be aware of any underlying advantages or disadvantages that might thwart your success or having a successful outcome. So again, it's speaking to you just being more aware, self-sufficient, trying to have more control over your health or your body or your circumstances, just to make sure that you stay educated and pay attention to things around you that you might not otherwise have explored. There's something maybe in the fine print, but there's something either way that you need to start paying attention to, so that you don't miss again, something in small print or in some legality that some oversight that could work against you. And the reason why I say that also is because there is with the end result of the career and finance cards, there were a couple of cards here with the Five of Swords, which kind of speaks to some kind of a hard win, meaning there might have been some kind of a sacrifice. You had to let go of something, and again, with the Seven of Swords speaking to, maybe somebody trying to get away with something here as well. But I just feel that you want to make sure you cover all your bases, because with that combination, where there normally would be harmony with the Two of Cups and finding balance and all of those things, it's also speaking to, cooperation. But you've got the 5 and the 7, meaning that there's some kind of a battle of some sort, that even though it looks as though you're winning, I do feel there is a little bit of a sacrifice of some sort that's having to be made there. So again, make sure you pay attention to the fine details. On the other aspect of you kind of redefining yourself and figuring out, now that you're moving past onto some new career front, I feel that you've lost a little bit of your own zeal. So again, with the spark card, this is a card that is letting you know that you've got some doorways that are opening up, energy doorways. These energy doorways are allowing you to find some spark, but you still have to seek it. If you're sitting in a room and you're not exploring, you're not going to see what's right in front of you. So there is something that's coming through. Energy doorways are what Spirit opens up for you, not every month, but when they do open it up, you need to make use of those profitable times. And in your case, that energy doorway is the spark of passion or enthusiasm for something creative that you need to take advantage of. So again, you have a reason to be optimistic and hopeful. You also have other cards that speak to that same, with the Rider-Waite deck, with the Sun card, and again, clarified with the World card and the Star card. So for sure, lots of optimism that's still coming through on that career front. So there is still positive energy coming through, even if it doesn't all show up right away. But that's probably about the middle of June, I would say. But with the Spark card, again, this is just a general energy card for the month of June, but it does speak to inspiration and you being part in that co-creation. So you need to put some energy out to be able to co-create this, but you are getting that energetic doorway that's opening for you to be able to find that inspiration. You're attracting to you something that will help you to create, or again, co-create this experience. And it's through this connection with someone or other people that is helping you to express, this and ignite this flame, this spark. And it is going to bring about, gratification for you. It's because it is that perfect time for you to give birth to an idea or start some kind of new job or begin something new, period. So again, that's the general energy there. The other card of the same deck, which is the Enchanted Map Colette Baron Reed, is Compass. So of course, with the compass, that's helping you to find your direction. So the card really speaks to it does speak to the true north. True north is usually about you finding a passion project or something that's sending you in the right direction, that is helping you to feel whole and like it's your life's purpose, something along that line. But when you follow, or when you allow yourself to be guided by the divine, again, following nudges and allowing people to come into your life that may be able to guide you or influence you in some way in a direction that you may not have considered before. This card is really letting you know it's uncharted territory. So in other words, it's something new, a new experience that's going with this as well in that area of uncharted territory, but it's the highest path of your destiny. So it's something that is not just a new beginning, but it's a beginning that is bringing you to something that proves to be money, property, prestige, romance, whatever it is. Material achievements aren't really your true path, but when it is your true path, it becomes automatic, so to speak. I'm not going to say everything is a guarantee. What I'm trying to say is that when you love what you do it just because you enjoy to do it, and everything else just seems to open up and come magically into the picture. So when you look for money, it's harder to bring money to you. When you look for a passion project or something that you're giving back to the world, or something that defines what you value or believe to be true at the core of your being, it does help you to expand the project faster, broader, and more people tend to resonate with it because you have conviction behind it. And when they see that you have confidence and belief in this project, that also create, and enthusiasm, that also creates the same for them. They also feel that they're trusting in maybe your charismatic presentation of it, maybe your belief that you can help a large group of people or lead a group of people, to success, or a company, or manage a department, or whatever it is. But if you've been feeling a little bit lost in the month of June, just know that you will be finding that true north. You will have some reason to feel faith that Spirit is there, not letting you down. It is going to be a chance for you to get your passion back, get your spark back. Just going to change out my candle. So again, it feels really hopeful. I just feel that, you maybe have lost a little bit of personal zest for what you've been doing, but not to lose faith, because you are going to be moving in some kind of new direction here. Okay, so following that, the next cards, I'll read the advice cards at the very end, but I think what I'll do is go into the strength card, growth card. So this is actually the rune cards. And with the growth card, it's just basically that. It's growth. It's the form of symbolic fertility here. So this card is letting you know that you are about to have some kind of growth, whether in the affairs of the world or family matters. It could be your relationship to Spirit. It could be just your relationship to yourself. And I don't mean that in I mean that because those are all really important and significant periods of change when you're able to feel whole. So it is also a card that you are blooming, you're blossoming, you're moving into something that's much more penetrating, and you're going deep here with this card of growth. It is a card of taking care of yourself and being more aware. It's a card of letting you know that you need to first get rid of some of the resistance that you put in place. So whether that's, blockages of you feeling sad or empty or confused, but you need to clear those blockages to be able to get rid and, clear them to be able to be able to move forward, of course. But more than that, it also speaks to being fair with yourself. I feel sometimes where you're just a little bit too impatient, but that you're not necessarily. I just feel that that you're not necessarily thinking clear-headed in the month of June. As I said, I feel there's a bit of pushback. So whether you're feeling defensive, whether you're battling yourself, whether you're battling someone else, there is some sense that you need to get rid of that. You need to clear your head. You need to step back. As I said, there was the timeout card there. Get rid of the resistance, and then just try to maintain the right attitude toward growth so that you can see things change. Again, I know it's easier said than done. And again, because you were going through a period of reflection, in your going back into the past to try to regain a sense of who you were, to be able to go forward, because sometimes we do get a little bit lost and we forget how we started, what was our reason for getting into a particular career in the first place. You know, you need to really look at your values and your belief systems to determine, again, how to go forward and what's important to you. Signals are also about some of these messages that are coming through from the divine that's helping to bring that sacred knowledge and help you to unfold your life, you know, and bring those new connections into your path. But it's also, the rune of signals is associated with Loki, and Loki is an ancient trickster, and it is related to the Norse gods. But Loki can be a mocking shadow, is how the book describes it, or if it's a creator god, it's also the bringer of benefits. So what the card is really saying is, sometimes we think that our inspiration or our positive insights or our ability to move forward only comes in the form of a trusted, caring friend and someone who has our best interests at heart. But this card is really letting you know that sometimes when you get a message or a call to this new life, that information can be coming into you from someone that could be considered a little unsavory. You know, it could be somebody who maybe has a bit of a past. It could be somebody who has a little bit of, may not have the same values or morals that you do, but somehow they're bringing to you some kind of message that can help you move ahead. They're creating some kind of mechanism of self-change within you that helps you to integrate some of the things that you're wrestling with in your head, and it's helping you to move past it. So whether it's this person that is helping to provide the spark or give you an idea, but either way, this person is acting as some kind of signal, an unexpected signal, to move you toward where you're supposed to be. So maybe they're helping you to explore some of the depths of yourself by bringing up something that you hadn't looked at before, or again, introducing something new into the picture. But either way, you know, the card is really about drawing on, from an unexpected place, this spark, this signal that will bring about some kind of self-change in you that helps you to become, feel more solid in your life again. So with that, oh, my candles are burning out. Sorry, just have to do another switch out. Okay, so with that, I will go into the other deck, which is actually, I think I'll do I was going to do the Witch's Tarot, but I think I'll do this one here. So this is actually Diana, Focused Intention. This is the Goddess Guidance card. And it's keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. So pretty straightforward on that one. So it's about being tenacious, stick to a decision once you make that decision, and don't allow outside forces to redirect you or sway you in any way. And just imagine yourself, you know, feeling pretty solid and that you are ready for growth no matter what happens. You know, this card is letting you know that you will succeed. You know, it is a card that's letting you know that sometimes you have to be a little flexible to be able to get to your goal, but you're still bending. You may be bending, but you're still rooted in the places that you need to be rooted. So you have a strong foundation here. So it's about you being in charge of your schedule, you being in charge of your body, and again, of your mind, and you're prioritizing properly, you're taking action on your new schedule, you're taking control, you're getting rid of your doubts, and whether those skeptics or people that, or thoughts that you felt were important at some point, creating some sense of negativity, whether it's coming from you or from other people, these are things that you need to just get rid of and say, well, no matter what, I need to go forward. I need to get ahead. I need to get out of the place that I'm stuck in. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is to, walk my talk and start telling myself that no matter what, time is of the essence. The moment is all you have, and you have to take advantage of every moment, because as I say, when the divine opens up a doorway for you and that little energetic spark comes in, it's an opportunity. And once that opportunity is lost, it may come again, but it may not be for several months. And every time that you delay is time lost, and you may find that you're battling some of these places within yourself, decade after decade after decade, because you're not taking advantage or moving on with action these times when the opportunity presents itself. So again, take control of your body, take control of your mind, take control of your thoughts. If you have a concern, again, stepping away is what was indicated. Stepping away, regain a little bit of power back, but make sure that you're doing it in an empowering way. It's one thing to reminisce and think that the old way is the only way, but it's another thing to go back to a place that helps you to feel whole and solid again, and jump forward with that reconnection to who you were, why you started out doing things in the first place, and where you're headed. So it's about clarifying your thoughts on where you're going by reflecting into the past. But again, don't use the past to weaken you. Use the past to strengthen you, to find empowerment. So the last card of the, well, not the last card, but this is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, Colette Baron Reid. It's the Lady of the Mirror, so it's reflection and non-judgment. So this is a card about seeing yourself in the mirror. You are a powerful force, and you do have the ability to track the things that you need. And so because of this, and again, this was what was speaking to you about, it was speaking to you about bringing new people into your life, or at least taking notice of what they can bring into your life. So again, you're not opening up and sharing everything, because it is, for June, it is a time of you maintaining some boundaries, but for sure it is about you finding unexpected places, again, that inspiration. So again, Lady in the Mirror is just about that reflection of you. You're not to blame yourself. You're not to sit around feeling a victim. You really need to, we all get tested. You have to be tested to know what you're really made of. You have to be tested. You have to feel uncomfortable to be able to change your perspective, to see a new opportunity, or to see beyond what might appear a failure, because even with people that are successful, they've had a lot of failures, and the difference is not that they maintained the failure until they didn't. So in other words, they were able to see beyond what the moment was and didn't attach their emotional state to it. So you can, that's really where mindfulness comes in. So you're feeling and you're allowing it to flow through you. You're not attaching it to you as a characteristic. You're not attaching it to yourself as a part of who you are. It's just something that you're experiencing in that moment, and you're able to let it go and move on to a more productive way of thinking or dealing with a situation. So again, whatever you consider a failure or a loss of some sort is really you growing, and it's you being able to shift from that by finding a truth in it, realizing how much of that you might have been able to control or not control, and again, finding some kind of a lesson in it that will help you to go forward. Anyway, this is, again, it's about being tested. So sometimes we get a distorted interpretation of things, and that is what this card really represents. So, observe how you've responded to challenges in the past and in the present. Don't judge yourself, accept things as they are, and it's just a part of your story. It's not defining you. It's not a characteristic of you. It's just something you went through to be able to get to the next level. So when you're looking in the mirror, remember the things that you like about yourself, and try to give yourself an honest appraisal, is what that card's really talking about. So again, don't stay in a negative mindset for too long, because not only is it unhelpful or not helpful, but it's also destructive when you remain in that place for too long. Okay, so moving on to the next cards here. So the Five of Cups was the initial card, general energies, and then it was clarified with the Death card. So it's a combination of some kind of sadness that's coming through here for sure. So, I mean, death in itself is really about something that has changed forever on some level. There's been some kind of transformation. Could have been an exciting transformation, but I feel in your case it wasn't really an exciting transformation. I feel it was something that may have affected you on the career front, but either way, it could be, death can always relate to life, birth, marriage, school, new job, moving, anything that, is relevant to the human condition. It's about new beginnings and that opportunity to move into a transformation or a change and begin a new cycle. So it's beginnings and endings. With the Five of Cups, of course, it's an emotional place with the Five of Cups. So I do feel that there was maybe some sense of loss here. It's a sense of, sometimes it could be feeling a little bit mopey. You're dissatisfied with this card, could be moody, things, but I don't think it was a subtle thing for you, because it is coupled with it's clarified with the Death card. So I feel in the beginning of June, this is really a time for you where you felt quite disappointed, very moody. It's much more pronounced. This melodramatic, extreme boredom or, disappointment of some sort anyway is beginning. Well, actually, that was more for, these are general energies, so that's more more for the overall energy of June. But again, I'm feeling more career front all over the place on this. So there's also with the Seven of Pentacles, and then it is clarified with the High Priest. So the Seven of Pentacles, again, is normally it's a card speaking to beginnings and starting out with, starting out with you planning and trying to move forward with a new project. And that could very well be the case still here, but again, it can be about planting the seeds and just sort of waiting for things to manifest or come out of this. But again, because this is linked with the High Priest, which the High Priest is really a card of disputes and needing to settle those disputes. I feel that this is really more about, there's something related to money that there is an issue with. It can be somebody that you confide in regards to money, but it can also be legal advice or counseling of counsel of some sort that you're getting your answers from with the High Priest. But it's about, again, furthering your education, getting more knowledge to your questions. You may not be getting all the answers here, for the month of June, but you are getting some kind of insight here, helping you to figure out, how to move forward. So again, it does speak to legal matters to me on this, and that you're uncovering some kind of personal truth, or, furthering your education. But there's a lot that relates to the legal aspects here. Even in the beginning, there's, the Two of Wands with the financial aspect, and then there's that, reciprocity, and trying to find balance there, some kind of give and take. You also had cards that related to, there was justice here coming through with another one. I'm just trying to find where it was here. Can't see it right offhand, but there was something that, that's what it was. It was with the Archangel Power Tarot deck. It was justice. So again, I did feel that there was something that was coming through on that front with legalities. And again, it could be dealing with paperwork and those kinds of things, but also with the King of Swords, representing lawyers, that kind of thing. And it was also clarified with the Queen of Pentacles, with money. So, and dealing with some of the more detailed issues. So again, I just felt that it was dealing with clarifying some kind of dispute here. Okay, so moving past that, and again, it could be definitely on the career front, for sure, just because there's so many cards that are coming through that relate to that, with the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. And again, this is the Witch's Tarot. So the King of Pentacles, clarify with the King of Cups, is definitely a career change. I mean, it could speak to somebody, coming through with this energy. And certainly the King of Pentacles is somebody who is an earth sign. It's somebody who's really determined and hardworking and wealthy and secure and successful and responsible, and, somebody who's very skilled and mature, somebody who you could lean on, that kind of thing. The King of Cups, of course, is an authority in their own right as well. So again, it could be somebody coming through, or, yourself coming through on this front as well. But I still feel that this is really just career change all around with these two cards. But again, with the King of Cups, if it is representative of a person, the King of Cups is also somebody who's quite solid, and it could represent, a Cancer energy. It can indicate, it can indicate, again, mature. Anything that's a king is a mature energy. But again, I still feel it's career oriented, but it can be a wise counselor. It can be somebody who's, lawyer oriented, that kind of thing. But a Scorpio energy. It's still a water energy, but a Scorpio energy with the King of Cups. So again, I still feel career, but if it is a person, that would be characteristics, traits that would be coming through. Somebody who's just a wise counselor with the King of Cups. So moving on past that, the last part of the general energies was the Star and the Seven of Wands. And as I mentioned, you've got the Seven of Wands, or the two sevens, coming through here in the reading, which, I feel is significant. But with the Star, normally the Star in itself is a really positive card, but I feel that it's upsetting the balance here with the Seven of Wands. I feel like you're having to defend your inner peace or your happiness. You're trying to follow your dreams here. You're trying to be emotionally stable. But again, I feel that you're battling to maintain this inspiration, or to gain inspiration. Your creativity may not feel like you're flowing with it here. I just feel that there is some healing that's needing to take place, because the Seven of Wands, you're defending this position. You're in a situation where you feel like you need to, whether it's due to jealousy, or whether I feel it's more to do with it's outside of you. I don't feel this is you specifically. I feel this is more outside of you, that this is somebody you're battling. I mean, even though there are some inner battles going on with the Five of Wands inside you, the Seven of Wands, I feel, is really speaking to more along the lines of jealousy or things that are external to you that you're battling. So people on the outside that are somehow hindering you from feeling like you're able to move forward. Okay, so getting into the financial aspect. Okay, so the first card is actually the Two of Wands. I mean, wands are an energy. First off, the two is, the two is about finding the balance and all of those things as well. But maybe before I get right into that, I just want to clarify that I did make mention that there was some reference there with the sevens. So I just wanted to make mention that, you did have a couple of sevens here that were coming through. So for sure, I'm just checking to see if it was two or three of them here, because I think there might have been three. I've got the Seven of Swords, Five of Swords. Usually with the Swords energy as well, that's related to the mind. So there's a lot of things that are going on in your head. But again, that's toward the end of June. But overall, again, I still feel like you're still ending up in a positive place just because you have a lot of really good cards of optimism that are coming through. You've got the Eight of Cups also, that you're walking away from problems and difficulty. You're transforming here toward the end of June. So there's definitely some good signs of timing there. But I'm also just taking a look here with just overall here. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm just going to quickly go back to this here for a minute. With the Two of Wands, again, it's about you trying to find some kind of a balance. So, I mean, I do feel that either you've got some kind of a decision to make here. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to move ahead. But, twos are about patience. And even though the path is one that can be of great reward, whether it's on a higher consciousness level, but it can also indicate some kind of apathy or boredom. But the balance of the twos is really about possibilities. So it's about taking that time to, bring the details forward for you to be able to make a decision. So I still feel that you're in the beginning of June, you're in a bit of a contemplative space. I don't feel that you're jumping ahead here with inspiration or anything like that. I feel that you're really trying to open up. I did mention the sevens being, relevant, and I only counted two, but the sevens do speak to that soul searching, that solitude, things of that nature. But again, twos are, really about having patience and trying to find some balance. So with the Two of Wands here, I just feel that you're trying to find some kind of an opening here before you can move ahead. So again, it can indicate some kind of you waiting for results on something, and whether that was the legal aspects carrying over from something in a previous month, or making some kind of moving on completion of paperwork or legal matters or whatever it is. But I feel that, with the Two of Wands, there could be some kind of a partial success coming through with that, that you're just starting, in the month of June to really clarify what's going to be happening here. In terms of business, it can indicate that you're trying to move forward. You're trying to, be inventive. There could also indicate some kind of power struggle. I feel in this case it is, maybe a little more along that line, just because there's so many cards that speak to that. But you are trying to maintain some kind of control here, even though you're going through some kind of power struggle. There's anxiety, a little bit of anxiety with this card, but it's still about you making your own way in the world. And you're still trying to find a balance between these extremes, that you're struggling with. But it does speak to good advice coming through for you as well, and that maybe you're at some kind of a halfway point with something. Definitely still waiting on results here. And again, it is clarified, with someone with the Six of Pentacles. And again, I still feel that someone's trying to exert some influence over you here, because this is a clarifying card, and Pentacles is about, kind of a grounding energy. It does speak of reciprocity, and sometimes it can refer to you, giving out money, or somebody else is giving money back to you, or some kind of reconciliation. It can also speak to, doesn't have to be money that's being exchanged here, but it could also be some kind of sense of goodwill. But it's also, that charitableness basically is what I'm saying here. But I just feel that you're still trying to find the balance here, and you're still trying to work out something. I don't feel that there's a lot of movement here. I think this is just where it's that beginning stage of where you're at. You're trying to, you might be receiving some help with this. And as I say, if it's in regards to a legal matter, that would also speak to, you receiving help from someone. And again, it could also speak to the mentor that's coming through, or you looking for that mentor. But either way, it is about it's about balance and fairness here with these cards. And again, it's, both the 2 and the 6 represent balance and fairness. So in the beginning of the month of June, I feel that that's where you're at. You're a little standoffish. You're not in a place of moving forward. You're just trying to find the balance. So again, this is also a clarifier card with this Libra energy with the Empress, and it's also can represent new ideas and the birth of new things coming in. But with a Wheel of Fortune, very positive card. Things are moving in your favor here, to bring about these new beginnings. So I do feel with the Wheel of Fortune, something has opened up for you. I do feel that there is the end of an old cycle in the month of June, and you're moving towards some definite changes, because you do have the Ace of Cups here, which is a card of change. You also have, even though this is a clarifier to the Sun card, you've got the World and the Star card. These are all, very positive cards speaking to end of a cycle, new changes, with the Death cards also repeated in the reading several times here. So again, I just feel that things are moving in a positive direction for you. You've got a lot of new ideas coming through. You've got synchronicities that are happening. The divine is bringing things through for you with that Wheel of Fortune. It's about opportunity and luck. Things moving in the way of new opportunity, as I said, or in this case, could be with regards to a legal matter. But either way, your timing seems to be impeccable. So it is moving. It could even represent some kind of epiphany, because it is clarified with the Empress. So maybe there's some kind of epiphany that's coming through here, that's helping you to feel stable. Again, in terms of feelings, it could also represent that changeability or a lot of ups and downs, but because, as I said, it's coupled with the Empress card, I feel that this is really more about opportunity opening up for you, and that you do have some action that you're taking here that's creating harmony. So it is a Libra energy, so it could represent a Libra person that's coming through here, but it is one of owning your power here. The universe is helping to synchronize things, moving you into a place of power where you're able to create and, create abundance, and you're able to become more positive with this card. It can speak to kind of a worldliness, so maybe there is, it speaks to many rewards also coming your way. with this combination, but it's about you feeling good overall. It can be, again, a creative flow where the Empress is a little more elusive and mysterious. In terms of money, it does bode well to a better flow coming through. And again, I feel it's because you're getting some help. So either way, there's a lot of suggestion there that there is help coming through, and it definitely is an opportunity that is to your benefit. I mentioned earlier that there was the Death card, which had come through several times here. You've got the Death card with the High Priestess card. So again, death is indication of the end of an old cycle, and it's also about tens, which you did have in the Crow deck. You had 10, which indicates beginning and endings of a cycle as well. So there is a transformation that's taken place here of some sort with the Death card. And again, you also have the High Priestess, so there's a lot of kind of mysterious elements that are going on here behind the scenes. I do feel with the Death card, with that transition, it could also represent sort of the parting of ways of some sort, letting go of negative attachments. It can be about, in terms of feelings, it could represent, because it is coupled with the High Priestess, in terms of feelings, it could be things that are still buried and yet to be reawakened. So it may be that you're not opening up emotionally about something. You feel that you need to break free from something. But with the Death card, it no longer has purpose. Whatever it is that's holding you back here, it no longer has purpose. It's the end of a chapter. It could be the death of an emotional attachment to something. Maybe you had a business that unfortunately had come to an end, but again, it's not necessarily an end in the way that we always think of an end. Sometimes you can just transition it, recreate it, reinvent it in another way and move it ahead. So see it as an opportunity to leverage up rather than a loss. It's maybe a loss of an old way, but not the loss of the idea. You might be having to reinvent the idea a little bit here. But again, there's some kind of mysterious elements that are still in the background with, and again, it could be some feelings that aren't fully expressed here with the Hierophant. So moving on from that, these were kind of clarifier cards here with the Seven of Wands and the King of Swords, clarifying again with the Queen of Pentacles. So I did feel that that was a lawyer energy or something to do with a legal matter. With the King of Swords, because it does represent an authority figure, and with the Seven of Wands, you're really defending yourself here. And I do feel with the Queen of Pentacles that it is still relating to something around money. It could also represent your energy or someone around you. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is that creative working mom, somebody who's really resourceful and practical, and somebody who is very security minded, someone who likes to learn about things, and certainly about money and studies and real estate or whatever it is, but somebody who's quite ambitious and sets goals. The Queen of Pentacles is really more about dealing with the details, being practical and realistic planning, that kind of thing. So again, as far as I just feel it's about being hardworking, that kind of thing, and moving forward. I feel that you're defending yourself here with the Seven of Wands. There is a presence of authority here that's coming through with the King of Swords. I mean, the King of Swords, again, could speak to, in terms of a person, is somebody who, again, could be a lawyer or somebody who is a figure of authority. It's a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, so it could be you coming through in your own reading here also, signifying that there's a fair judgment of some sort that's coming through, but it's an intellectual person. Can represent, law enforcement, police, military, anything like that. But it's a rational, logical, headstrong kind of person, somebody who's capable and, has a deeper inner knowledge. But again, government, legal, anything along that strategic, somebody who's a leader, makes quick decisions, somebody who has deals with their intellectual side over their emotional side. So, head over heart here, and again, it's structure, it's routine, it's self-discipline. It's somebody who is, could be implementing practicality coupled with the Queen of Pentacles and being logical about it. Could be the approach that you're taking. You're being defensive. You're defending yourself with the Seven of Wands. And again, you could be trying to balance yourself by using strong beliefs in your intellect and trying to move forward on that front as well. But because this is somebody with the King of Swords that's very level-headed and makes a firm commitment to their goals and sets boundaries and takes control and pushes forward. But it's somebody who really just feels that they can be harshly judged by another, because they are dealing from more of a logical mindset. But again, it's a fair-minded, deep thinker. And it can also represent somebody who has the energy of cutting people off as well. But anyway, that, as I said, is, I feel it's either two energies coming through there with the King and the Queen as separate forces in a legal matter regarding the money, or it's you, taking a practical mindset, being clear-headed, defending your territory with the Seven of Wands, because there's clear competition or some kind of jealousy around you that is interfering. And again, I felt that you were still, sorry, just going to light my other candle here. With the High Priestess, even just prior to that, and the Death card, I did feel that there was, that energy of some secrets still, or quiet emotions, things that are still in the recesses of the mind. I should mention that, this is also a protection card here with the High Priestess, but I feel it, and it can also be a card of insight that's coming through with the Death card. So with that transition, you might be gaining that insight, but it's really somebody who is the keeper of all knowledge here. And it is that, as I said, that feeling of being a little moody or alone, maybe feeling alone, but you're not really lonely, but being introspective and going deeper and pausing and reflecting. And I feel that's kind of where you are for a lot of the month of June. So, but again, you're getting back to a practicality and defending your territory, even though you are up against some jealousy. So that is probably about the middle of June, I would say. First week, still feeling a little more sullen, but as it progresses into the middle of the month, you start to feel much more optimistic with the Sun card. So the Sun card, as I say, it's a card of optimism, and it was clarified with the World card and the Star card. So definitely this is momentum here. This is you, maybe something has come through that it's allowed, maybe that's when you get your spark of insight, and you're starting to feel that you've got more of a positive something to look forward to here, because as I said, it is clarified with the Star card, and that's about, following a North Star. It is about the realization of a dream or a hard time being over, and about new inspiration coming through. And it is about being optimistic and being in touch with that universal energy. But it's about you being motivated. Maybe you found your muse here, and, you're starting to see there's some harmony coming through. You're being shown the way here with this card. Things are being highlighted, it's that beacon of light that's coming through. So I don't feel that you were in a really dark place, but I do feel you were in a very contemplative period. But it is about reaching dreams or goals starting to, or opportunities coming through, something's being highlighted. And again, with the World card, this speaks to the end of a cycle as well. So, and again, you had a lot of those cards coming through in this. So I do feel that this is just letting you know, to be optimistic. There's positive energy coming through here. You're starting to feel more motivated. This was clarified with the World card, and this is letting you know that the end of a cycle has come through, and you're now able to move on to a new beginning. And I say that because right after that is the Ace of Cups. Is when you get that new beginning. So again, these were clarifiers for the Sun, the World card, the end of an old cycle, and with the Star card, letting you know that, optimism, back on track, following a North Star, that kind of thing. So again, with the Ace of Cups, really, really good card, because the Ace of Cups is about the divine coming in to assist you with a new project, whether it's a new job or a new career insight, inspiration, it's healing, it's about intense feelings, things starting to make you feel alive again, and again, whether it's the awareness of, you've got some new realization, but either way, it's something new that's coming through here. It's creation. It is about, because cups are all about emotion, and the divine is bringing something to you. So it's a gift. Something is being gifted you, whether it's an opportunity, the potential for a new beginning, but to trust your intuition here, because again, it's a universal blessing that's coming through, and I feel it's on the career front. It is related to money. Or at least opportunity. I won't say money so much in that, because I don't really see a lot of cards, a lot of pentacles that indicate that there's a lot of money coming through. That's probably why the earlier cards indicated that you needed to hang on to some of your money here, because you are going through some kind of a transition. So, but I also feel that, you needed to be practical with the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Coming through there. But that new beginning, again, you are walking away from, well, it was actually, I should mention, it was also clarified with the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups for sure is about, reason to celebrate. So whatever this new opportunity is that's coming through, new job, assistance in some way, because I did feel that you were getting somebody who's coming through to kind of help you put the pieces back together or move in a new direction. And again, I think it was coming through an unexpected source. I don't feel it's somebody that you necessarily would have taken advice from, or insight from. I don't even know if it's really advice. I think it's more that somebody, is presenting an opportunity, which you might see some other opportunity in it and springboard with that. But either way, this card is, and again, it's clarified, Ace of Cups, universe is bringing something to you with the Three of Cups, meaning spend wisely. You are getting something that is giving you a reason to celebrate. And again, I believe it's the opportunity that's coming through here for you. But again, hang on to your money for the month of June. But you can expect to receive some money, or there is some kind of unexpected money or something that's coming through here, something that's giving you joy, because that's what the cups are all about. So you're feeling uplifted, with the Three of Cups. And again, it could even be that you're well supported as well. You've got a circle of support that's coming through, could be a reunion of some sort. But either way, it is a positive card. Spirit of that community, and you're able to just overall feel self improvement. Following that, and again, it can even be recognition for something, although I'm not strongly moving in that direction with just the way the cards are laid out there. The Eight of Cups, again, that's speaking to transition. So it's about you moving away from things that were causing you hardship, that new direction. You're reevaluating your priorities here toward the end of June. You're walking away, you're enforcing some boundaries here, you're protecting your emotions. I feel that, you are finding some balance here again toward the end of June, even though you are still on this personal development course, but there are some big changes that are coming with this card. So again, you're walking away from some difficulty. You're still protecting your emotions. And I say that because I don't feel this is a person, even though it can represent a person with the Knight of Wands. I feel this is more of a messenger that's coming through, that you're still battling yourself on some front. But again, there's a little bit of a journey of self-discovery here because of this transition. So you're not in full hermit mode, but you are definitely finding some struggle about something that had to end. So, but you are looking for, like I said, with the Eight of Cups, you're looking for some kind of fulfillment. You're exploring different territory with this card. And whether you felt like you were abandoned, but either way, you're striking out in some kind of new direction, and it is about, again, finding a deeper meaning. So you are finding some balance, some harmony with this. I also feel that I felt that you might have been a little bit disconnected at some point there, and I feel that toward the end of the month here, I do feel there is some kind of again, a reconciliation of sorts. Again, because you did do some self-reflection here, and again with the Two of Cups, normally the Two of Cups on its own, speaks to balance and harmony, and I mean, it can be relationship oriented. Although I don't really do relationship readings, I do feel that there is always a little bit of relationship that comes through on every money reading. Just because we all have work relationships, we all on the average have, some kind, it's friendships, there's relationships of dominating every sphere of our world. You're always coming into contact with people, but with this combination, I feel there was some kind of relationship, and again, I feel it was more on the career front. It could speak to more of an emotional front here, but either way, there was some kind of underhandedness, I feel, that was going on with the Seven of Swords, something that may have been discovered. There was some kind of a hard win. So even though you might still be together with this partnership, but there is some kind of a loss. Maybe there's a loss of respect. Maybe it was a soulmate or somebody that you had some kind of a karmic relationship with, which karmic relationships can be with friendships as well. It can also be with, not just romantic partners, that kind of thing. But, any kind of hardship can be strengthened so long as you create some boundaries around it. Not everybody learns their lessons at the same time. Some people take years to overcome issues. Some people are able to shift their perspective, quite rapidly, just depending on your resources and what's available to you to get past it. So, but again, I feel that normally this is a card of harmony and cooperation, but I feel that there is some kind of loss here, or some kind of, I don't want to use the word scarring necessarily, but I feel that maybe there's a lack of respect or honor or something that's gone on here, because something I feel was hidden, not told, a lie or something that has prevented this union from, again, partnership, business, whatever it is, from working harmoniously. So I do feel that even though I don't really see a lot of significant changes in the money front for the month of June, and in fact, you're just being told to hang on to your money because there is some kind of a transition, but there is new opportunities that are coming forward. And again, maybe with the Five of Swords, maybe you were still able to hang on to this union, and things have kind of moved to some degree of balance or cooperation, so that you are able to meet your financial obligations and maintain and share resources and build on the opportunity. But either way, I feel that this partnership was in some way, I don't want to say fully severed or ended, because you do have some significant changes and moments of new opportunities coming through. So it might have been you walking away from the situation, but it still feels like there's some residual there that is to work with that Two of Cups and the Five of Swords. So even though there was some underhandedness or lies or something hidden there, again, I still feel like there's something there that you're working through. And maybe this is somebody that you can't quite get out of a relationship with. Maybe it's a family member or something along that line. I'm not sure. Sorry, trying to stop my cat from crossing. Candle fire is not a good move, cat. But either way, again, with the Five of Swords, I just feel it's a betrayal of some sort. There was some kind of a loss. There's some kind of, no-win situation. You might have gained some, well, not really gained, but you might have been at some kind of an impasse. You still feel like maybe you've maintained your integrity, but there's still some kind of limitation around it. The feelings are still moody, brooding a little bit here, difficult, a little bit erratic, some kind of mental struggle that's still going on here with this relationship in June. So again, I don't know that it's fully ended. I'm sure it will carry on through the month of July, but especially because it's ended at the end of the month here. But I do feel that you have something to work on. There's still something to work on with this situation. It's not quite finished yet. But anyway, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight. And again, just 3 more cards here for advice. But I'll do just a quick note on the last one here. With the timeout card, again, it's just that you taking time to sort of figure out what matters, what doesn't matter. For the most part, we have to do what helps us to clear our heads. If you can forgive somebody else or revamp the situation so that you can understand to a degree why something might have occurred, it helps you to heal. It doesn't necessarily mean forgiveness in the way that you're not forgetting, but you're forgiving some of the difficulty so that you can also move forward and move to the next stage of, figuring something out. So it may not all be resolved, like I said, in June, but I feel that there's a beginning of clarification. I feel there's some kind of a clarification now, that you have something to work with to move ahead. And again, maybe it was something that was related to, moving toward a separation of some sort, with the Justice card coming through. So if it's not related directly to, a business front, meaning that, although I do feel career shift, career change for sure in the month of June, new opportunity coming through there. But I feel that there was some kind of legal matter that's also taking precedence. But again, whatever it is, the right decision is being made here. Whether it's a court case or a settlement or some other third-party issue, it is ruling in your favor. And again, I did feel there was balance coming through toward the beginning of the month as well. So, the energies are all moving in that direction, in your favor. With right down from the Fortune card with the Abundance card, everything is moving in your favor. Even though you're still battling, you're still having some hardships and challenges. But again, positive cards, synchronicities, the universe bringing more things through for you, getting over difficulties. But again, residual toward the end of the month, you're not fully done with whatever that issue was. So with, again, the Justice card, you are able to restore balance between the people involved, and you're able to start working toward putting this battle behind you. It's a message of empowerment. It's a message of letting you know that new choices, have come about or are being brought about in the month of June, which is going to bring about a new result for you. So it's about a carefully fair-minded decision that's helping you to create justice for everybody involved. There's some kind of equality coming through here. And again, just to review any legal papers that are coming through, just with some extra attention. So the last two cards are the Three of Gabriel. So again, that's prosperity that's arising from wise planning and time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. So definitely very good things that are coming through for you. So Three of Gabriel, you've made some good choices. Things are going to start coming in to your favor. It's a long-term planning card, that's letting you know that whatever this idea is that you have, it's a long-term card that will create success for you. You might need to travel for business purposes as well with this card. But just to review your options and maintain some enthusiasm, because you are getting your spark back, which I feel was a little bit blunted for the month of June. But you have done fairly well here so far in navigating through this difficult time in June. And so there's really no need to worry. You will get a return on your investment or on the situation that will move in your direction in a positive way. So just have some patience. With the Queen of Gabriel, I feel that, this is a card that's letting you know that you can do anything right now. So go after what you want. You have the ability to attract helpful people, which this card came through several times for you, that you were going to get some kind of a mentor or something coming through unexpected that's going to help to reignite things again for you on the career front. I did feel that this is also that card of, connection to others. You've got support. You also had the Three of Cups with that divine gift that was coming through. So, you're a charming person here. This is a card that, you're liked by people, but you're able to create some kind of a balance here and some kind of harmony in your relationships, friendships. You're popular on some level here. You've got confidence. You're keeping, you're able to... The advice of the card really is just to keep going forward, go after what you want, because things are going to move in your direction so that you can receive things. So again, I don't feel there's a lot of momentum in the month of June. I do feel that you are kind of facing some kind of reckoning, that there is some kind of relationship of, whether it's a business relationship or a friendship on that career front that maybe went badly, that you're having to evaluate, but there was jealousy coming through for the month of June that you're having to deal with. But you are defending yourself, not to reveal your hand. There is some career change and opportunities that were coming through here. I did feel that you needed to be practical. There might have been some legalities that were related here as well. But either way, defend your position, stay focused on your intention. Was some of the other cards, end of a cycle of you being moody or depressed, apathetic, not feeling passionate or feeling forward movement. And again, just being staying focused. Don't allow yourself to fall into that place of laziness or procrastination due to this apathetic mood that I feel was coming through quite strongly for the month of June. And again, I'm sure in the month of July we'll be dealing with this energy here, with a residual of that relationship that wasn't quite resolved. So anyway, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight, Aquarius. Sorry, I do these a little bit late, so sometimes I tend to be run on. But anyway, overall, pretty good reading, as I say. Not a lot of changes on the financial front. Just hang on to your money for the month of June. But you do have some new opportunities to start moving on that direction. In that direction, you've got some insights coming in from unexpected places, and again, you're being spiritually protected. You do need to guard yourself against some jealousy around you, and some deceit or underhandedness that has been brought to the forefront again toward the end of June. But overall, you have a handle on it. You're staying in control of your situation, and you're just guarded. So again, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight, and we'll see you in July.